Hey, welcome to Watercooler. Happy Dia de los Muertos. We're fresh off of Halloween, All Hallows Eve, and I can't wait to hear about it. It's my favorite holiday of the year. I celebrate it intensely in every aspect. So I can't wait to hear everybody else's stories too. You know how the show goes. Chris Locks, want to kick it with my Cruel Digital Bud and Matt and Gary and Kaylin with me today, all the way in Nohoka. Mike Dawson.
Just chilling here with a C-. The mountains are blue, and so are you.
I like that. Wait, what is when you say that? So are you blue? Why are we blue?
I don't know. It rhymes.
Are we sad?
It was a week. It was weak, dude. I still got 8 Mile on my mind. I was trying to freestyle for you.
You want to bat?
Yeah, that was at the beginning of a rap battle.
Yo.
The mountains are blue, and so are you. Put on your shoe. It's pretty good.
That's pretty good. That was good.
I lost.
You know, I'm gonna pop a docket and just hand my microphone back to.
I should have started with a few yo's.
All right, all the way in Long Beach, California, we got Kaylin Bean here.
What's going on?
Hi, Kaylin. Hey, Kaylin. All the way in Orange County, California, Gary Smith.
It's pronounced Mika Pfeiffer.
That's right. We'll explain why in just a moment. And then, of course, let me introduce our man all the way in Austin, Texas, Matt Fondelier.
Hey, brother.
Hey, Matt. All right. So the reason we're doing all this 8 Mile stuff is we just did a movie club podcast on our Patreon where we talked about the wonderful Halloween film 8 Mile for the entire hour. So it was really fun. I had a great time. Matt had the best time because he loves watching a non-horror movie during Halloween.
Ask me what I did for Halloween this year.
What did you do for Halloween this year, Matt?
I watched 8 Mile.
Nice.
Lucky you.
God, why? That's a great movie, but seasonally, so wrong.
It's good any time of the year. I'll eat it any time of the year. Yeah, so we watched 8 Mile. I'm like Dawson. I'm in rap battle mode too. I've been flowing all over the house with my rhymes, and I just it's just Jen hates it, but whatever. I'm having a good time doing it. So look, Halloween was last night. Personally, I had a great Halloween. The costume that we came down with was my son Benny was dressed as a chicken, and Jenny and I were farmers.
Now here, I have to say
that's
that
good job.
Benny and the Jets would have been better, but damn, was that one fucking adorable chicken.
That's great.
It was
fantastic.
Yeah, and so it went really well. Jenny made his costume using real feathers off of a boa, which is
fake feathers.
Yeah, well, they were real feathers. Those things were real, and they got everywhere. I'm finding feathers in my house in every crevice. After I vacuumed, there's more feathers. I don't know how there are more feathers everywhere. I'm just sitting watching TV and a feather just floats by. Like that's how many feathers are just scattered around my house right now. And so I'll be cleaning feathers for a long time. And,
what's your Twitter handle? I didn't get this picture. I'd like to see it.
Oh,
where can I find this?
Oh, I didn't tweet it. You can if
you just send it to all your close friends. I understand.
Well, no, it's actually on Instagram. If you took a minute from stopping posting 30 food pictures a day, you would look at your feed and see my son. So yeah, it's somewhere. If you guys lurk on Instagram hard enough, you'd be able to find it.
You don't have to lurk that hard. You just regular lurking. You'll be fine.
Yeah, you can just regular lurk and you'll find it. So the costume went great. We on Saturday we took him over to the in-laws place because they had a little Halloween get together. And
I heard about this.
Dude, the reason they did this was because their neighbor goes all out for usually for Christmas, to the point where he enters contests. He's in the news, like KCAL or KTLA will do a little segment on how extravagant his Christmas decorations are. Like it would put Matt, you would be really proud of this guy's Halloween decoration.
There's probably footage of it on YouTube. We went to it last year, and it's like a full-on, like almost like a performance, like an electronic light performance on this guy's house.
I used to have a
It's
neighbor.
incredibly impressive.
I used to have a neighbor in high school who did this, and he was so serious about it that every year he would travel to somewhere in the Midwest for like a convention that these people have. These people that go hard, like they have like a freaking week-long convention where all the newest tech and all the new stuff is highlighted.
Yeah.
These people spend thousands of dollars
it's the
every
same
year.
technology as is like the Jumbotron at SoFi Stadium. It feels like it's just all these LED walls and lights. Like, so this is usually during Christmas. He gets into it so much for Christmas that I don't know what you guys think of this. He gets his neighbors involved. He goes and decorates his neighbor's house so they all are in conjunction. So when you're watching it, that the houses behind you are part of the song, and the houses.
I'm totally down with that. I'm totally down with that. We got a few houses in the neighborhood where I grew up, and they got to shut down street traffic to them because they're so amazing.
Yeah.
But one of the best things to do, on Christmas Eve after dinner, after everything, me and my mom get in the car and I just drive her down to look at Christmas lights.
Yeah.
That's great shit. Now, Halloween, look, I get it. I understand some people are totally into it, but I will stand on the same side.
What do you mean some people?
Listen. I'm going to say this equally about Christmas. House decorations are easily the fucking stupidest way to spend expendable income. Fucking buy a boat or something. Jesus Christ, man.
You saying this guy does both Halloween and Christmas?
Well, so
he goes balls to the wall.
He originally did Christmas for a long, and like these light shows, not only were like he would have
buy a boat. Sorry, that needs to be on a shirt.
What's it called when you're like on those?
You want to waste money? Buy a boat.
When you're on that that like 20
rafters
scarf and you're just spinning around in it, and it looks really pretty.
I don't know. There is a name for it, but I don't know. I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm
spinning
talking
with
about.
A scarf?
When there's like two like big fucking pieces of material that are hanging from the top of like a yoga studio, and there's there's people like women usually who are really good at like rolling themselves up in it and doing acrobatics. There's a name for it. I just don't know what it is.
Strippers
ribbon is the ribbon competition.
Yeah. It's a lot more graceful, and it takes a lot of work. I'm sure a ton of upper body. And so he even incorporates that into the Christmas show. So it's such a big event, right? So this year he decided to get into Halloween, Matt.
So he's got hired performers, is what you're saying?
Yeah, kind of, yeah. Well,
Okay.
I think he knows them, and they train like at his house all month.
Wow.
Okay, so now
this guy's running a fucking cult, dude.
Seriously,
trying for Halloween. This is why I didn't want to plug him, because I don't want him to know what you guys are saying. It's actually quite nice what he's doing. But he's decorating for Halloween now, and every time I've been driving on the street this month, I feel like I'm gonna hit a dog because my head just turns 90 degrees as I drive by this house, because it's on the. I don't mean to dox Jen's parents, but it's on the same street as Jen's parents. So every time I go over to the parents' house, I see this house, and there's always something new popping up. And every night he puts on this show. Every night. So on Saturday they closed off the streets, and we went to watch the show. And I'll just show you a picture of what it looked like outside. And this is just a regular street in Long Beach. Here, this is what
I've been to this street. It's very unassuming. Whoa!
Yeah.
Wow!
Well, this is just there's over 1,000 people there just on a regular.
I see a whole mess of people and not much to do with Halloween.
And there's
this is like a tropical vacation.
Yeah, what the fuck is that, dude?
Hey, Matt, they're not gonna cut down their trees for the
Well, maybe they should. Maybe they should commit to the process, Chris.
You're right. You got to commit.
You didn't get a front picture, Chris?
It was too crowded.
Didn't look like there was room for it.
It was too crowded. It was to the point where I was, all I could hear was bass, because like the speakers weren't loud enough. Like there were way more people than I think anyone ever expected. And yeah, so it was just crazy. So I heard.
Well, if all you could hear was bass, the guy at least spent money on a sound system, because usually all those speakers are all fucking tweeter.
And I did hear that for Christmas he's going all out, and he's hiring like a big choir to perform for the Christmas show. So I don't know.
Look, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Really into
that's
it,
awesome.
And I can't.
I'd buy a boat.
Yeah, but look how many more people you're really fulfilling their lives and making them happy with a boat.
Chris, I think I'm going to do Christmas decorations this year.
Yeah, you just make me happy because I party.
In my neighborhood, there is a street that is similar to that, but instead of there just being one person who goes so hard that they're going to shut the street down, it's just like understood that every house on that street is going to go super hard. And I've often wondered if you like buy a house on that street in like April, like what kind of a fucking culture shock it is when September starts to end and the freaking decorations start to go up, because I'm not kidding you. It's literally 12 houses on each side of the street that all go an equal amount of ham. They shut down the street. It gets shared on like Facebook on all the different buzzes. Last year, there was easily 4,000 people there when I was there. And it was a little lighter last year or this year, because I think we were there a little earlier, but there were still, several thousand people on the street for the moments that I was there. And it's like, you know, these people have to give out so much candy, and just, the commitment to the financial commitment.
There is nothing sadder too. There is nothing sadder than the one house on the street that doesn't participate.
Right.
And it's just fucking dark and everybody knows that guy's an asshole.
No, that does not happen on this street. That's what I'm saying. Is like, it's so hardcore, Dawson, that like, that's not an option, because people probably fuck your house up if you were to do that. Like it's so crazy that you really can't do that. It would be
that's what I was telling Jen, like, we better have Halloween candy or else we're getting eggs. What would you rather eat? And there has to be a shame factor with it too. And there are actually neighborhoods, even in Long Beach, where if you decide to move there, you sign a contract saying you have to go all out for Christmas. Like, your Christmas lights have to be awesome, because that's part
that
of it. It's like,
that would only be possible if there was a homeowners association, and the homeowners association voted that in as rules. And that Chris, Matt, Gary, everybody, Kaylin, who's going to buy a house, do not buy a fucking house in a homeowners association. Don't do it. I had a condo in a homeowners association. They don't do dick except raise the prices. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah. See, a little tip. So Halloween night, though, last night, Tuesday night, not the best night for Halloween, but I noticed I didn't really have very many trick-or-treaters, and let me tell you, one of my favorite things to do is hand out candy to trick-or-treaters. It's just fun. Everyone's in a good mood. You're giving people candy. Like, I remember, so we get our first trick-or-treaters of the night, and it's the cat from Alice in Wonderland.
Nice.
Cheshire.
The Cheshire Cat, also Blink-182's one of their earliest albums. So I compliment her on her costume. I'm like, oh, happy Halloween. I love your costume. And she looks at me and goes, have you seen the Queen of Hearts? Where is she? I'm looking for her. And it's totally character. And now,
how old is she?
You want to know? Oh, she's young. She has, I mean, I'm terrible at kids' ages. She has to be like 11 maybe. So
okay, so over 10.
You're getting an extra handful of candy because you're giving me a little performance. Go ahead. That, I love it. After that, it just went all downhill. Let me tell you, with these kids. So after that, they're just saying trick or treat, not even looking up. Already, it's like that Abe Simpson meme where they're walking and they're already on their way turning around. But it's like, you better put the bag in the candy because I'm already leaving. Like they're just on a mission to load up the candy. And I thought, okay, what happened? That first girl was awesome, and now nobody cares. To the point where around the end of the night, like, this is how all the trick or treaters were going. They're going in groups, and they would just go down the sidewalk, not walk up to my house, but they would just from the sidewalk scream at the same time, trick or treat, and wait for me to open the door. And if I open the door, they'd come. If not, we're not even going to bother walking up there. We just got to, because that's how we're going to check if any of these houses have candy. And it was so loud, and multiple groups were doing this. Like, this must have been a new thing that they're doing. Like,
this is terrible.
It sounds
awful.
Pretty threatening. It actually sounds threatening.
Baby that's sleeping now.
It sounds exhausting. They do this at every house. Yeah, they scream, like, trick or treat.
And like, but they'd be in the like closer to the street than they are to my front door. And then
bad parenting.
Oh, there's one here. There's one here. And then they'd run over to my house and get the candy. No eye contact.
Yeah, this is bad
I
parenting.
wanted-
Where were the
I
parents?
wanted-
doing this?
Parenting.
I couldn't believe it. I started the night off so strong I started the night off so strong with that Cheshire cat. And
it just went downhill.
After that,
Chris.
so downhill. I was so sad.
Now, Chris, I have two questions for you. One is, will you start screen sharing? And two is, what were you giving out? What kind of
Okay, I'm not proud of it.
Kids?
I'm not proud of it. It was a mixed pack. It was a pretty common one, but I'll give you. I know all the candies in there. It was the Hershey bar, the Kit Kat, the Rolo.
First of all, you have nothing to be unproud of.
That's good.
Yeah, that's good.
You could do a lot worse than that. It's basic. That's just the basic.
Let me tell you, Chris.
But it's still top shelf
Yeah,
assorted
you're not getting any awards.
Chris, let me take over. Let me take over for you here and make you feel a little bit better about yourself. About midday yesterday, I was going on a run to make sure that we had all the stuff that we needed for Halloween. And as I was leaving, I said to my wife, do we need candy? And she said, I'm going to give out fruit snacks. That's what I did at his school. And I thought to myself, but I didn't say anything because that was not a thing. That was not time to say anything.
I just see a miniature Gary on his right shoulder with his arm crossed, just shit. So, so some kids came and we handed some stuff out and whatever. And then eventually we went out and we went trick-or-treating. But when I woke up this morning to walk my dog, I walked by my front lawn and this is what I found. With the fruit snacks right there in the middle of the lawn. They had been discarded on my own property. They said, "Feh, you take your fruit snacks." That's like my old band fly.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh,
well,
I love Joya, but did you take that and then put it on her pillow?
I texted her a picture of it. And
okay, good.
I just said, looks like people think that, people like your fruit snacks. And she was like, are we the toothbrush house now? And I was like,
it might be. You're one step closer, Joya.
Send her then, like, this is where Bailey poops. Come on.
Well, for the first time in like 5 years, I turned my porch light on. I went and bought a 30-pack of Reese's peanut butter cups, the regular candy bar size with 2 cups. And then I texted my neighbor and I said, I have candy for the kids. So if you are going trick-or-treating tonight, please make sure you stop by my house.
Cool.
One of them was a princess. One of them was Spider-Man. The whole family came, and you should have seen these kids' eyes. When I gave them a full Reese's, these kids almost lost their shit. And the Spider-Man wanted to eat it now. And his dad said, well, we're almost home. We're going to go home right now. And you can eat. He goes, thanks, dude. Good move. But we have to go home now so that they can eat this candy because that's all they want.
Yeah.
And that was my only trick-or-treaters the whole night. One family, 2 children. I left my porch light on until 9 o'clock.
Yeah, they're a lot less this year.
Dawson's lousy with
because you got them the big candies.
I said you're lousy with Reese's now. You got what, 28 Reese's?
I got like 28. No, I gave them each 2. So I have 26. I have 26 Reese's left.
That's still entirely too many Reese's.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at least now they all owe you a favor. Like, as if you give a kid a big candy bar like that, just know they owe you a favor.
Nah, we take care of each other. This is my neighbor that 2 weeks ago I ran out of weed and I wasn't able to go to the dope store. And so I texted him and I said, hey man, can I buy some weed from you? And he said, I do not sell marijuana. I especially do not talk about it on texts.
Yes.
But I would love to bring you over some vegetables I grew in my garden.
Yeah.
And he came over and he gave me a fucking 1/8
of zucchini.
And I only needed to get me through the night.
Yeah.
I only needed it to get me through the night. And so I returned all of it to him. But see, my neighbors are good neighbors. We look out for each other.
Hey, Doss, just want to make sure that you're aware. You know that there are delivery services where you can just go online and it'll show up in like an hour and a half.
Yeah, I'm aware, but
okay.
I buy ounces of sativa.
They'll deliver zucchinis within an hour and a half?
Hell yeah, it's called Instacart.
Yeah. Well, also Kaylin and Gary. So there's a thing. I'm sure you both are familiar with this. The trunk or treat. I don't think this was a thing when we were kids, Matt and Gary. And
it definitely was not. I feel like this started during COVID. I'm familiar with it as well.
That makes sense.
It's just it happened during COVID. Rather than going to a door, everybody pulls their car up to the driveway. They open up the trunk and they decorate the kind of inside of the trunk, and then it's sort of like a distance Halloween.
You like just do it like at a TJ Maxx parking lot or something?
See, I like the one during COVID where people would get on their roofs and take like a fucking 40-foot PVC pipe, and then they would slide you down the candy. That was fun.
Cool.
I actually like that.
Wait, but the trunk or treat is still a thing. Like, I know
it is. I think people just liked it.
Or just so it's just a better way to distribute candy now.
Well, I think it's also a budget friendly way to decorate. Rather than having to decorate your entire house, you can just buy like essentially like a sleeve that goes over the top of your trunk, and there you go.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense then. I don't know. I just I'm not against it by any means. I just didn't know what it was. I thought it was. I didn't know if this is a new thing.
Here's what I'll say: that out here in Austin, and I'm sure in a lot of other places in the country, but not so much in LA, a lot of people just sit on their driveways. Like that's really common out here.
That's my whole neighborhood.
Yeah. Oh, it is. Okay.
We had a lot of
just
those.
like folding chair.
But then again, Matt, I don't live in LA. I live in Orange County, which is like I would say in LA, in Los Angeles neighborhoods, that's going to be more few and far between. But out here, the whole neighborhood, unless if your lights were not on, like if your lights were off, that's the only house that didn't have that.
I will. Also during the party that on Saturday before we watched this extravagant Halloween show. So what Jen's mom did was she set up little stations. Like each of the adults had a little station within the house where the kids can walk up, grab a piece of candy from the station, and go to each station. So they like a mini trick or treat within the party, right?
Sure.
It was great.
Awesome, dude.
One station, like really spent some buku bucks. Sees candy boxes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very.
But that might be too much because that's going to be lost on my kid.
Yeah, I know. Maybe that dude already owns a boat.
I'm watching kids just opening them, just like tossing them, like, respect the seas. What are you doing? They're just eating them like they're any other candy. Like, and they're mixing them with like with all the other the strawberry candies and the. I'm like, you guys are. What are you?
I see a kid put C's and Skittles into his mouth.
They don't
fucking throttling him.
They just
That's
don't.
it.
That's segregation I can get behind. So they're sorry.
I don't know why I agreed with that. I felt really weird about it.
I'm not sure I co-signed that.
I was just trying to yes and then I was like, oh.
No, it's just a me and Matt thing, Gary. Sorry, it's just a Matt thing that we came up with. You don't have to be a part of it. It's just something Matt.
We're into certain kinds of segregation.
And so
always
now remember, I have a 5-month-old, almost 6-month-old kid, and I'm at the point where I can't go around trick or treating with him because it's obvious where this candy's going if I do it. So I basically it would feel like I'm just using him to get candy, right? And I would get that.
No one thinks that, Chris.
If I walked up,
not
to
one
a house,
person, they all know it, but no one gives a fuck.
With a baby and with like a bag, like trick or treat,
no one fucking cares.
They're probably just trying to. Most of them are probably just trying to get rid of their candy.
Some people would judge. I agree.
I would judge I have judged and I do care. So
I would give you the candy, but I would also judge you.
So anyway,
I only judge 18-year-olds, 17-year-olds. That's the reason why I stopped giving away candy, because when I first bought this house, I bought it right 2 weeks before Halloween, and I'm like, I'm gonna fucking give out candy. And a couple of fucking 20-year-olds came to my door, not in costume. They're holding fucking pillowcases. I'm like, so you guys are just fucking beggars?
Absolutely not. No, you got.
I agree, Dawson. The lack of costume is really the key for me there. I'll give an 18-year-old some candy if they've got the costume on.
Hey, if you dress up, you're a fucking weirdo. Fucking go for it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
You're like a 40-year-old who loves Disneyland. Go for it.
Last night I
dress up too.
In fact, last night at one point, my son was a little tired, and I walked up to one of the houses and I said, "Can I trick or treat on behalf of my 4-year-old that's behind me?" And she said, I would have given it to you just anyways, because if you're dressed up like that, then you deserve some candy. I was like, all right.
What did you wear, Gary?
Funny, you should ask, Dawson.
Yeah.
Hey, go Power Rangers.
Nice.
You can't see it in the picture because of how I have my hand extended, but this thing covered my entire head and went down to my fingers and toes. It was a full body jumpsuit. It was
pretty good.
I love it. And Gary Jr.'s the White Ranger.
Yep.
By the way, been working out, obviously.
Been working out.
Yeah, he's ripped.
He's a little buff baby.
Yeah, bummed Joya didn't commit with the pants. I mean, yeah, just PJ pants on the Red Ranger. It's fine. It's fine. Gary, what do you wear under the bodysuit?
I had on a pair of shorts and a Power Rangers t-shirt.
And an extra pair of socks.
Even a reel on the inside.
You wear a Power Rangers t-shirt under. That's commitment.
Well,
yeah,
it was sort of a fake out because I didn't want to put that thing on until the last second, but we started while the sun was still out. So I wanted to put on something that my son could at least be fooled into thinking was some sort of a costume. So his mom was wearing the red Power Rangers t-shirt. I put on my red Power Rangers t-shirt, and he didn't like ask if that was my costume or anything, because like the bodysuit thing was definitely a reveal. Like that was how I wanted to start his Halloween. So
was he just thrilled?
Oh, he was so stoked. And he kept telling me, like, every like 35 minutes, he'd walk up and find a new way of saying, like, your costume's really cool, Dad.
That's fucking awesome, dude. That's got to be the fucking one of the best parts of being a dad,
dude. It was totally worth it. Like this.
That's fucking cool.
Yeah, it was the best.
Oh, I love it. Well, okay, so let's see. So we have Galen. Did you dress up at all?
Yeah, I was. We were initially planning to do like a whole Paw Patrol thing. Like each of the girls was going to be a different Paw Patrol, and then Amy and I were going to dress, do a whole family thing. And then
you didn't do it because of defund the police.
Exactly. You got it.
Political statement.
Yeah.
Smart.
Then the girls decided no, they
didn't
didn't want to do Paw Patrol. They wanted to be a witch and a princess. So then I was left without a costume. So I was like, I guess I just won't wear anything. And then during the day yesterday, I was like, you know what? I should just go to the Halloween store and just get a mask. So I just got like a $10 Guy Fawkes mask, which is
nice,
which from like the V for Vendetta character. Yeah. So I just kind of
love that movie.
Thought it was the diners, drive-ins, and dives guy.
Guy Fawkes.
Now there's a Halloween costume.
That is a good.
We need more
good
crossovers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Matt, what were you?
I watched 8 Mile. No,
an angry movie.
No, I just wore just like a Halloween themed t-shirt. It was actually Friday the 13th shirt, but I'm sure Chris would have thought it was a Nightmare on Elm Street shirt.
I mixed them up.
And then you guys saw during our movie night that I have a light up necklace.
Fucking Halloween snob over here.
Or one of those
complaining about movie night. Can't even be bothered to put on a fucking costume.
Well,
that's the second year in a row, by the way. I remember that was your answer last year. It was like I put on a Halloween t-shirt and I handed out candy while we watched.
That's what I do now. I mean, first of all, you're wrong because last year we threw a Halloween party here and I definitely dressed up in a costume.
That was not on Halloween.
It's possible that on Halloween night, yes, maybe I just took a more casual approach because I'm still gonna cook dinner. We're watching movies. I don't know.
Yeah,
it was fun. It was a nice night. We watched a movie called Cobweb. You guys seen that one? It's on Hulu.
Yeah, of course I haven't seen Cobweb.
All right. Well,
although I do want to watch Five Nights at Freddy's. Is that what it's called? Five Nights at Freddy's?
Five Nights at Freddy's.
I think that's more. I'm not sure, but I think that's more of a slasher film, and I'm just not into it.
Well, you guys will hear all about it later in the show. Don't worry.
Oh, that's
Good. This is one where you may call it flickable. And I just won't go for it just based on if it's a slasher movie. I don't like the Friday the 13th. I don't like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Those aren't normally my style either. I'll watch them, but those aren't my favorite.
All right. Well, I can't wait to hear that because I am thinking about watching it still. All right. And Dawson, you didn't dress up, I assume, right?
I did not dress up. No.
Hey, Dawson, one thing I was thinking about that I forgot to get in there earlier is the one thing that you have done, though, is you have set precedent, and those kids will be coming to your house first next year. So you have to make sure that you have 2 full-size candy bars every fucking year for each one of them.
And we're
absolutely at the Costco Business Center.
Even if you're leaving the lights off, they are going to come to that house. Like you have cemented, that's a core memory for them. You have cemented that you are the house that gives out the big candy bars and gives out 2 of them. So you got to be on point with that shit every year, just for those 2 kids. You don't have to do it.
They have no idea that my house was dark throughout their entire lifetimes.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it. All right, you guys want to do some comments?
Hell yeah.
Let's go.
Now it's time for listener comments.
All right, and these are all comments found in our very own Facebook group. And if you're listening to the show and you're not a part of this Facebook group, what are you even doing? What are you even doing? We can change that right now. All you have to do is go to facebook.com/groups/Bobo Army Worldwide LLC. Answer a few questions, and we might let you in. It's very easy to join, and it's my favorite place on the whole interwebs. All right, this first comment, this is written by listener Sharon Severson. She says, let me drop some mom knowledge on you guys with young boys. Okay. She says, here's how it goes. 0 to 6 are the buddy years. They're your buddies. They love you and you love them. Everything's perfect. Best years. They're hard, but good. Then comes the kid years. They're the worst. You have to be consistent, have rules, boundaries, teach them chores, and they can't sweep despite an above average IQ. Seriously, the stupid first grade musical and you can't find parking, you have to be there. Very stressful. Kalen should flick his daughter's first school performance. Yeah, you should. Then comes the teen years. I like them a little because they can drive, have ideas, and get you things, but they break the back of your seat of your whole car, and that kind of sucks. But here are my rules. I feel it's very obvious. I have boys. Do yourself flavor and copy paste if you do as well. And the rules are stay off 1960. That's a major road under construction for years.
That's FM 90. Is it that they're in Texas, dude? That's Farm Market Road, 1960.
Oh, okay.
My friend's band, they were this guy's close to Houston. My friend's band in Santa Barbara, they were from Houston, and the name of their band was FM 1960.
There you go. Oh, okay. So not just a year, but also a very popular and dangerous road.
Yeah, and they're farm market roads because that's where all the farmers would bring all their shit for the, hey, let's go sell our shit.
Oh yeah, I could have went there during Halloween and nobody would have bat an eye because I looked the part. No eating ice. Number 2, no eating ice. Is that just a manners thing? You think?
Probably just bad for your teeth.
Can be. Is it? Is
Well, it's not.
That's what I've always heard, but
I don't know.
Not
I don't
true,
know.
right?
I eat ice. I'm embarrassed about it, but I do. I'll chew some ice every once in a while.
You're embarrassed about that?
I think it's rude. I think it's perceived to be rude, and I just don't want to. I don't want to upset anybody around me.
Only rude if you're doing it in a movie theater.
Yeah, I could probably be doing it in a movie theater. I don't know. I'm usually a little more conscious about that, but I was chewing ice the other day, and I was thinking, oh, is that? I wonder if that's like a thing that I shouldn't be doing. Like it's a thing I took from my childhood that into adulthood that maybe I should knock off. But I don't know. Do you guys chew your ice?
Depends on the ice. There's different styles of ice.
If it's pebble ice,
it's a necessary. Yeah.
But like cubed.
Like the average out of the fridge, no, probably not. But any kind of like square, rectangular one, sometimes you kind of get at like a deli or something. That's a good one. Sometimes they're kind of hollow in the middle.
Ice.
That's satisfying. Yeah.
Ooh,
That's good.
Yeah, hollow in the middle. I'm chewing that. That's for sure.
Well, yeah, those are meant to be chewed as well.
But not out the fridge. Not like if I just get my own soda and then I'm watching TV. Those ones don't do it for me.
Okay.
Same.
What about when you guys are you guys?
I like one of those big fucking cubes that you put into a drink. I just pour it in my mouth.
But Matt, by the
just
way,
gnaw on it.
Yeah.
all of Matt's teeth are false now. What about?
It's like a jawbreaker. But
I was eating this the other day because I was eating an ice cream cone. Do you guys bite your ice cream?
What? I mean, eventually, not right away.
I'll bite and I'll lick an ice cream cone.
How much?
No, not a cone. The ice cream. He's asking about the ice cream.
Like while it's above the
ice cream. While it's above the cone.
Like a scoop of ice cream. Do you bite that with your teeth?
I'll bite
on
it.
a cone.
I'll bite it.
Sure.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. That's not the first thing I do, but like 7 licks in, yeah, dude, I'll bite that thing.
Okay. See, it's
you gotta take your
somebody
time with
isolate that drop.
Number 3, no phones or devices charged in the bedrooms. I kind of like that.
Smart.
That's good. That's smart.
I do the same thing. My phone's in the kitchen at all times.
Yeah.
Wow.
That way, if you're sleeping and you get a text, it does not wake you up.
Yeah, sometimes the text is, "Hey Dawson, where are you? We're starting the show in 5 minutes."
That's only once a year. Only once a year. Always keep them guessing.
You do. You really do. I love it. Now, number 4, no unsupervised spray painting.
When else are you supposed to spray paint?
That sounds
When
very
do you have
specific.
supervised spray painting?
That sounds
Look,
very-
no,
Let's
go back to the theory that this family is in or close to Houston, Texas. And maybe they spray paint a little more out there.
Yeah, or
maybe they spray paint their bike.
Capital of the world.
Kids,
Everyone knows that.
Kids are a lot more
like
free
this rule.
range.
I don't
you
like
know,
this
if you
rule.
want your BMX to be a different color, you'll go to the store and you'll get some fucking spray paint.
But you better get some supervision.
Sharon is really hindering the chances of her kids being the next Banksy.
But see, here's the thing,
call,
Chris. I'm convinced that this rule was established as the result of some unsupervised spray painting, where maybe an outline of something was left on the garage floor, and now all of a sudden it's like it's going on the list.
That rule does not exist in a vacuum.
Right. But it's a good rule. I like it. I don't dislike it. You shouldn't.
It seems to me like that rule should just be standard for all children.
There are 7
everywhere.
Rules, 7 rules, and that was one of them. No unsupervised spray painting.
Yeah.
All right. No, it does sound more like it's a result of something, Gary. I agree.
Completely.
Number 5, brush your teeth twice a day and shower 3 times a week.
Now, if you have boys, 3 times a week seems on the low side to me, because I remember being a young boy and I was a stinky motherfucker. Like, if these kids are,
you start stinking.
It depends on the age.
Yeah.
She
said 12, 13, shower every day.
No, she said they're teenagers, though. She likes the teenage years. She was talking about that. So they're teenagers now. So
I guess, maybe 15 years old is when it really kicks in.
Dude.
So
I used to hate showering.
I think I'd have to draw a hard line at 15 to showering every day. I'd like to go earlier. I'd like to be, look, dude, you're a teenager. That means you shower every day.
Yeah, that's fair. I hated showering so much as a kid that my mom would go, "Hey, Chris, you have to shower." And I'd say, "Okay." And I'd go into the bathroom. I'd turn the sink on. I'd wet my hair. I'd wait a few minutes. And then I'd come out like, "Ooh,
wow,
that was quite the shower." And I'd go about my day.
Wearing the same
outfit.
Wow,
that worked. I did not.
That would so not work. What kind of a fucking shower do you have that your mom could tell the difference between the sound of the sink and the shower?
He had a Filipino mom. She's busy doing something.
To the door. Like it's just
she's not listening, and she's busy. She's making shit happen.
I feel like if I was setting down a hard line where I was screaming at my child that they must shower, I would probably be like keeping an ear out to make sure that it actually happened, because it's apparent to me that this kid does not want to do this.
I strangely remember my very first shower. When my mom told me I got to take showers now, no more baths. You're too old for baths.
Shower time.
I remember getting under that water thinking I was afraid that I was going to drown.
In the shower?
Yes. I have never had, and I'd swam in pools and all kinds of shit. But for some reason, water spraying out of a faucet onto my face scared the fuck out of me.
Yeah. No, it's a weird sensation. Speaking of, what is waterboarding, and what is that?
Thought you're gonna ask, what is water? What's waterboarding?
Wait,
like the torture method?
2002? What's happening?
That's legitimately a question you just asked on this podcast.
Wait, first off, let's pause for a second. Matt, you thought I was going to ask what is water?
Well, what's waterboarding is not much smarter of a question.
I can explain waterboarding in 3 sentences.
Oh boy.
Wet
What
towel,
have you done?
Wet towel over your face,
Okay.
on your back, so it creates a seal. Water poured on top of you, it simulates drowning. That's what waterboarding is.
Okay, because I saw a viral video of this kid dressed as Spider-Man jump into a pool, and it was as if he was waterboarded, and he was like freaking out. He was okay.
Because he had a mask on or whatever.
Yeah. So don't any of you kids dress up as Spider-Man. Don't
waterboard yourselves.
Don't waterboard.
That's the lesson. Yeah.
If there's one thing to take away from today's episode,
waterboarding is bad.
Yeah.
Gary's looking at me funny right now. Gary, you got to remember that I've done the audiobooks Left of Boom.
I'm looking at you funny.
I've done.
I know you're going to say
all
you've
of
done
Robert
waterboarding.
Lewis's. So
Gosh,
I'm
you're best friends with a
aware.
CIA agent. Like, I'm not confused. I'm not looking at you funny. I'm looking at Chris funny because that was a weird fucking turn to take on our silly podcast where we talk about dumb shit.
Well, Dawson's talking about how the sensation of water hitting his face freaked him out, and I'm saying that is similar. There is a
you know, actually, man.
Yeah, go ahead, Dawes.
The way that I would consider what waterboarding is now, that is
more
the way
sentences
I
about
felt
waterboarding
going into it. And when I was fine, at the end, I was like, wow. I was like, big sigh. Man, I did it. I took a shower. That was crazy.
Crazy.
But it's weird. You guys, how many of you remember your very first shower? Nobody.
No. I don't remember my.
I feel like you just burned a perfectly decent shit I did as a kid, man.
That's all right. I'll come up with something that I'll forget by tomorrow.
I actually do have an early-ish shower memory because right around when I was 12 or 13, my family moved. And before we moved, my parents remodeled the house. And when I went to take my first shower in that house, in my new bathroom, my mother had them put the shower head like 8 inches higher than whatever was standard. And I couldn't reach it. And I was pissed. And she just like kind of looked at me and was like, one day you're going to thank me for that. And sure enough, like 9 months later, I could totally reach it. And it was the best thing she ever did for me. And it was awesome. Still to this day, that shower exists.
When I shower at my parents' house, the fucking faucet is right here.
Right.
And it is the shittiest thing in the fucking world.
Oh, some of the rentals that I've had over the years and like, old school North Hollywood that, was built in the 50s. I have to freaking contort into a like pretzel in order to wash my hair. It was the worst.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to think of any memorable showers as a kid. Real ones, not the fake ones I used to do in the sink. I remember going to the public pool and showering there. That was the first time I saw adult penises. Because I was
dude, that's gross, right?
Dude,
that leaves an impression on you.
Now, I won't be naked in front of my own son because I'm like, he's not ready yet. He's not ready to see what's going. What is that?
Yeah, wait till he gets older.
I was like when Chris said he hadn't tried Hinge yet. You fucking weirdo. Stop saying yet.
I guess it does change the context.
It does.
Yeah, but he's just not ready.
I remember the first time that I was in like a communal shower experience, and I was pretty young. I don't think I was 10 yet, and there were definitely adult men there, and it was it stuck.
Some of it's eye level. It's like, all right, well, there's that. Yeah, so it sticks. It sticks. So I'm conscious of it, and he's not ready yet. He's not ready. All right, let's.
Take the boy trick or treating first, for Christ's sake.
That's a good rule of thumb, Matt. I like that. Yes, if the kid is too young to trick or treat, he is too young to see dong.
All right, 2 more rules: no swearing until you're 18, and no cell phones in national parks. And there you go. Those are Sharon's rules. Thank you,
Sharon. I love you.
Sounds oddly specific as well. So there was an incident.
That's at the very least, Sharon, you are being proactive. There is nothing bad about any of those rules.
By the way, I'm not shading the national
rules.
I'm not shading any of those rules. That national park rule makes perfect sense because that is a kind of place where you should just be.
Oh, hell yeah.
You should just be enjoying the beauty that is around you. Like
until the moment you're lost in the woods. If only you had your phone with a digital compass and a way to contact someone and let them know where you were and where to find you. But mom said you shouldn't have a cell phone. And now you're starving, you're swimming in the river, and you drown to death.
Yeah, you know who
I would add
one
rule to that. When you're walking, your cell phone is in your pocket.
There you go.
That's fair. Because the no cell phone rule. You know who else adhered to that rule was James Franco's character in 127 Hours, and we all know.
We all know how that ended.
We all know how that went. Ian Fitzgerald writes, "Remember, kids, pumpkin spice time starts next weekend. Yeah,
That's
we are
right.
really going through the
PST.
seasons fast. I'm already seeing Christmas trending. Mariah Carey was trending today. Like, is it her time now?
No, they just can't wait, dude. You know how much money she makes every Christmas?
Oh, she
I
did
believe
it.
it's like $20 million.
It's wow, what a beautiful.
That's
thing.
where the money is, Chris. Let's write a Christmas song, bro.
I know. The thing is, if you want to write a Christmas song, you kind of have to write it and get it ready by like July, and it just you can't. It's hard to capture that spirit. So I don't know.
Just do like Matt and just watch a Christmas movie every night in July.
Know me.
I know, Matt. See, Matt for a guy who's complaining about watching 8 Mile in October. He loves his Christmas movies. The pumpkin spice stuff though. I had a pumpkin spice drink the other day. First one I've had in a few years.
I tried a sip of my son's. I don't even know where it came from, but he somehow got. I think it was a boo bag. You know what that is? When someone boos you.
Nope.
No, what is it?
Okay, so with little kids, there's this thing where people will go around and they basically ding dong get you, but they leave a bag of goodies, and that's called getting booed. So like, and then the idea.
What kind of prank is that?
It's not a prank. It's like you would then expected to do it back and to like do it with others. It's like a way, whatever.
We used to get poo bags. They're
now
now
like, now you get candy.
different time than when we grew up.
Yeah.
More Billy Madison. But I think in one of his boo bags, he got a pumpkin spice hot chocolate. I tried that.
Oh,
Not good.
not good. Oh, okay, I thought.
Then again,
Chris,
I don't
what'd
like
you
pumpkin
think?
spice.
What'd you think of yours, Chris?
It was fine. It tasted exactly what I thought it tastes like, and I moved on in my life. I mean, it's not. I don't know. It does taste of the season. It does like, okay, we're in autumn. This is nice. Like today, and it's just weird. Like especially with this weather in California, Matt. We've hit probably every degree there was today. Because I woke up and it was literally like 55 degrees outside with a high of 86. Like
wow.
What? Yeah. So I'm getting ready to drop off my son at the caretaker, and I'm just like, I don't even know what he should be wearing right now. Yeah. So it's just, yeah, we're hitting all sides of it today. So, but the pumpkin spice thing, it was fine. I don't know. I'll never order it. It's not that appealing to me, but I just I think it's more of like a status or a movement than it really is how much I enjoy this flavor. If you had a Chez Fond-du-Lait today, we could argue this, but have you been already getting into the pumpkin spice stuff?
I mean, here's the deal. I think that it's really it's a very brief time, and we're 3/4 of the way through it. By the time we reach the like middle of November, I guess you can maybe extend it through the end of November. It had been many years since I had a pumpkin spice latte, and I had one at the Hotel Starbucks when I was in Orlando, and I was really disappointed. I used to fucking love those things, and I got like one sip into it, and I was just like, I don't know if the recipe's changed or if I've changed.
Mine was at Starbucks too, and it wasn't that appealing. So
Hey, wait
it just wasn't. It was rough.
Going back to the start of this comment, when was that post made? Is he saying that pumpkin spice season doesn't start until November? Because I thought that shit started
3 days ago. So
I think it started.
I think that shit starts in late September.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Ian, you're.
Don't forget, everybody, this weekend, set your clocks back to being an asshole.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I will. Thank you for the reminders, sir.
It's about to get darker.
Right here on the water cooler as well. You're getting a lot of information. And let's do one more comment here. JT Oniet. He's responding to a conversation we're having last week when we were talking about that movie, The Outfit. And we're thinking, okay, what are some good movies with Taylors? We have The Kingsman. We have
Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy.
Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. Well, JT says the peak Taylor movie has to be the Eras Tour movie, right?
That's funny. That's very funny.
You say Eras?
Eras.
Eras.
Is it Eras? Eras?
Era.
Oh, I
Era.
say era. I don't know.
Everyone,
I say
Not an
era.
era. It's
Yeah,
not an era. It's an era.
End of an era?
Yes.
that doesn't sound right.
most people don't say it
that-
that way, but I hear you. I think you're right, Dawson.
I know I'm right.
But the way it's been pronounced by almost everyone who's talking about that particular film is the Eras Tour.
Way to go, public education system. Teachers
Wait.
unions, you're doing fucking great.
Matt, Dawson, do you get that joke?
I do get it because it's in my Facebook feed every day.
Yeah.
Very happy to hear that.
So it's eras. I've been saying it incorrectly this whole time. Say it one more time, Doss.
You get
It's
your
the
ear
end of an era.
pierced.
It's the end of an era. Era. Ear.
Ear. Okay. Do it as like let's say it's like the era of I don't know some animal with
The
a
Jurassic era.
with a trunk and an ivory tusks.
The period where Alexander the Great conquered almost all of the known world was a early military era in the history of war.
Okay, that's a sentence. All right.
Can you talk a little louder? I can't hear you.
And that's what we waited for, folks.
There we go. Oh, and one last comment. Steve Clacy says, Chris,
Era. Jesus Christ, you guys. Era.
To play at Denny's. I didn't go to that. They were at Fingerprints in Long Beach signing, and then they did a surprise show at a Denny's. And I drive by that Denny's every day. It's literally on the intersection where that street light doesn't change. That stoplight doesn't change, and I complain about it all the time. That Denny's is where Blink-182 performed. And yeah, I'm sure they had an issue with the stoplight being red for no reason at all. All right, those are our comments, everybody. Thanks for writing in. We appreciate you and we love you. Now, Kaylin,
real fast, Chris, because I wasn't here. I can't disagree more with whoever it was who was on here saying that new Blink song is not good. You guys,
definitely.
That was me.
Worst
that was me.
Ever. That is just an indefensible take.
The beat never drops, Gary.
Exactly. And that's the only song where they've ever done that. That's what's charming about that song, is because they decided to take a different path, and it's still fucking cool.
I want to hear Blink-182. I don't want to hear a different path.
I haven't heard the song, but I'm going to go ahead and equate this to Pearl Jam's second record.
No,
when people my age heard Pearl Jam's second record, we were like, what the fuck is this shit?
I know exactly what you're talking about, Dawson, but that was a whole record. This is one song. The rest of the record, the rest of the album sounds like a Blink album. It sounds exactly like a Blink album. It's fucking awesome. But the fact that there's this one song where it's like they subdue it so that you're forced to like focus on the lyrics, which are also awesome, that's a fucking banger. And I will not stand for it, Kaylin.
Kind of boring.
Yeah. And look, Gary, I listened to that
song.
Not
very exciting.
Today. I listened to the song today.
Me too.
And I'm on your side. And this is it's just.
Hope you guys weren't driving.
Dangerous. It's falling asleep. It's just a whole new era of Blink. All right, let's do some
era.
Era.
Has anyone seen this yet, or am I the only one?
No.
What was it again?
Five Nights at Freddy's.
So Matthew Lillard came on to the Corolla show, and he couldn't plug it because of the strike. So he just kept saying, "Oh, there's this movie I'm in that I really want to talk about. It's based off a video game, but I can't." And it was this movie.
Is it based on a video game of the same name?
Lillard.
Yeah.
Oh, Matthew Lillard. Okay.
I am amazed that there is a video game that justified a movie being made about it that I've never heard of.
Yeah, I've never heard of it either. And the first one came out in 2014. And I mean, I had no idea. Like, I knew this movie was based on something, but I didn't know what it was. So I Googled, oh, it's a video game? What? Like a series of video games.
Pretty big fan base.
Like a console game?
I don't know. I didn't look into the game itself. But the movie, it's in theaters, and it's you can stream it on Peacock. It's a supernatural horror film, as we said, based on the video games. Yeah, I don't know if it's a console game. I don't know if it's more like a phone app game, but
it's a console game. It looks like everything. Windows, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and iOS, Nintendo Switch. It's on everything.
Huh. Well, yeah, it must just be super popular with.
You guys are
I don't know. I must be out of touch. It was directed by Emma Tammy. She had a couple other credits. I didn't recognize them though. The movie was written by Scott Cawthon, who, along with being a writer, is the guy who developed the video game. This is a Blumhouse production. Even though, their rating has gone down over the years from what it once was, but I still feel the need to mention that this is Blumhouse produced.
What took over Blumhouse for you? Is it art? Was it art?
A24.
A24.
Yeah,
okay.
that's holding.
They're the new Blumhouse.
Yeah,
but they don't just do horror.
Yeah, Blumhouse just does horror.
Blumhouse was better in their earlier era.
Exactly.
Right, exactly.
The film stars Josh Hutcherson. He's very recognizable. He was a child actor. He was in Kicking and Screaming, Zathura. Right? Yeah, as early as Polar Express, but he's best known for playing PETA in the Hunger Games. Also in the movie Elizabeth Lale. I didn't recognize anything she's been in. And then, like you said, Matthew Lillard. You know him, Scream, Hackers, 13 Ghosts he's in, which is a very fun, kind of silly, kind of stupid horror movie, but it is very fun. I think I probably best know him for playing Shaggy from Scooby-Doo, which he does perfectly.
And She's All That, Kalen.
Yeah, I've never seen She's All That.
Oh, what about and he's in He's All That?
Yeah, I've never seen he is in He's All That. I've never seen that either. Freddy's is an hour and 49 minutes. It cost $20 million to make. It has already made $150 million. So, I mean, we were talking about
theatrically with it being available,
right?
That's
right, and
crazy.
It was released on the 25th, so it's still and so the fan base of this game must be fucking huge. I'm so surprised. I'd never heard of it before.
Any movie that goes to streaming, regardless how big of a budget it has, it's like, okay, it took $100 million to make this. It has $4 million in the box office because it went to streaming right away.
Yeah, this one did both, and they showed up. Yeah, critics on Rotten Tomatoes, 28% with the critics. And an 88% with the audience. I fucking love when movies have this wide a gap in favor of the audience. They're very fun to review. The movie itself, it's about this guy. He's like a fuck up. He starts working as a nighttime security guard at an old closed down pizzeria. Little does he know the life-size animatronic bears are alive.
This is like Chuck E. Cheese, right?
Yeah, it's like a Chuck E. Cheese knockoff. So, like I said, I knew nothing about this movie. I never heard of the games. I never saw a trailer. All I saw were the posters for it, which were awesome. I mean, the posters for this movie are very cool. If you haven't seen it, it's like these giant animatronic bears where their eyes light up and everything's kind of dark. It's just kind of silhouettes of their heads and stuff. Very cool poster. And I was pretty excited. One, because of that. It was just getting a lot of buzz. Talked about a lot, and it's just kind of the last horror movie coming out in October. So I was eagerly waiting for it. I've talked a lot about the kind of 4 elements of horror movies where, horror movies can kind of be categorized in different ways. Just because it's not scary doesn't mean it's not super violent, which makes it horror. So I'll repeat them. It's scary, creepy, violent, and disturbing. Those are the kind of 4 elements of a horror movie that, as long as it's fitting into one of those, then it's, it's okay if you throw that horror title on there. This movie is not scary, so that was a bummer. It's not violent. It's not disturbing, and it's not creepy either. It is none of the. It is none of those things.
It's movie night, baby.
It's none of those things.
Fucking, it's you know what's scarier? You know what's scarier than this movie? I'm gonna guess. The actual Chuck E. Cheese.
I think you're right. I think
Chuck E. Cheese.
I think you're right.
By the way, I just got curious as to what Chuck E. Cheese's middle name was. Is apparently Charles Entertainment Cheese. Full name of Chuck E. Cheese.
So it was destiny for him.
I will say there is like a little kind of creepy moment or two. There is technically violence, even though it's not that violent. There is like a disturbing element to the story. But this movie was it felt so bland and boring. For a quote unquote horror movie. The big animatronic bears or characters, they were actually pretty cool and well done. But like I said, whenever the violence does come, it's super underwhelming. The movie's PG-13. I did not like this movie. I did not expect I did not like it at all. I feel like it was just made for fans of the game, which I guess there's a big enough fan base for it. It's made a shitload of money, but you know, I don't know the game, so I didn't really see any appeal in this movie. Hutcherson, he's a fine enough actor. The girl in it is this, like, she plays a cop. She's a very cute blonde cop that apparently has nothing to do all day and just hangs out at this fucking pizzeria. Like, she's like a police officer, but all she does
figured life out.
Yeah, I guess so. Like, I thought being a police officer, you were busier than to just hang out at a Chuck E. Cheese knockoff. So needless to say, I was super disappointed. Especially, I thought it was going to go the other way when I saw the the chasm between the critics and the audience. Usually, I'm always on favor of the audience, but
he's turning on the dark side.
I thought there was going to be like a solid horror movie dropping to finish off October. I found pretty much zero redeeming qualities about the movie, other than, like I said, the animatronic bears. Yeah, the disturbing element to the story was okay, but I just kind of kept waiting for it to get better. I was waiting for a scare and waiting for more violence.
I think your mind's just too effed up, man.
I was just waiting for something, and it never really got there. The movie,
awesome.
The movie,
yeah,
I mean,
it
was kind of well made otherwise, but I wouldn't bother if you haven't already seen it. Unflickable, 3.7 out of 10.
Yeah,
3.7.
Yeah.
Nice.
Whoa.
I knew it.
Yeah.
I saw it coming.
It's not.
Kaylin siding with the critics and not the audience.
Yeah.
This is the end of a long period of time. So it's just I'm worried about you, man. I'm worried.
You can just tell by the way they're promoting this movie that it's going to be bad.
Well, like I said, I thought the poster looked fucking awesome, and I was like, oh, this movie's gonna be creepy.
No,
as fuck.
dude.
And the blades, like the blades spinning inside of the bear, like I saw it in the trailer. I'm like, Kaylin's gonna love. There's definitely hand trauma in this. Like, this is right up. This is what Kaylin wants. No, those blades.
That's why I was so disappointed by it. It was like it could have been there. It definitely had that avenue to go down. It could have been a lot more violent, and it could have been a lot scarier. And it's kind of just silly.
I think
Kaylin and Matt, last night I watched a horror movie from 2012 starring Daniel Radcliffe. 90 minutes. It's called
Woman in Black.
Harry Potter, Deathly Hallows.
Oh.
It's getting like 50% audience on Rotten Tomatoes, maybe like 53%. And I'm like, for horror, all of the 50% is my threshold. Like, if half the people liked it, I'll give it a shot. Dude, it's 90 minutes and the critics ate it up. They tore it apart. Critic scores are like at 38%. It made me jump like 8 times.
Oh, interesting.
So if you haven't seen The Woman in Black from 2012, watch it. It's good.
All right. I'm still watching. I got to get all that I can out of my Shudder month before I got to cancel it again.
Are you how much more time you got on there?
I think I got about 2 weeks left, so I got.
I already sent you a couple titles.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna watch 8 Mile again.
All
right,
Chris, I think you could watch. I think you could watch.
I probably will still watch it because I'm curious. Maybe the audience, maybe it's geared towards me. So if I really like it, then I'm just gonna be with the audience.
I think this video game is so popular, probably among like the younger generation, that they're all about it, and it's geared towards them. And
happens, right? Because all video game movies suck because they're
pretty much
everyone hates.
Oh, the tide's turning though. This was successful, and we clearly have the best video game adaptation ever that just finished its first season.
You're also talking about that is getting better too, but there is a difference between the movies and the limited series, because what you were going to say, The Last of Us, I'm guessing
not a limited series yet.
Oh yeah, no, you're right, it is. It's still ongoing, but just the fact that it gets the amount of time that it needs,
it's not a movie. That's a fair point.
Series limited.
All right. Well, that's a whole other show. We don't have time for that right now. It's too late.
And at the end of this, I will tell you guys which movie we're watching for next month.
At the end, go for it.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
This is the end. So why don't we go around the horn and we'll start with Dawson for his plug and what movie we shall be watching for our next movie club.
I got to tell you right now, there are slim pickings on Netflix, man. I looked for a few of my favorite movies that were on Netflix. They are not there. I had it down to 3 movies, and then Matt mentioned Kaylin got the Guy Fawkes mask, And I'm like, fuck, dude. If V for Vendetta is on, that's the movie. It's not on Netflix.
Oh.
So
It's
I had
also
to go
like
back
2.5 hours
list.
long. So
I had to go back to my list.
I'd watch it.
3 movies interested me. They were Jaws, Midnight Run, and the movie that I ultimately decided on. It's a thriller from 2010, starring Gerard Butler.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm in. I don't even care which one it is. That's fucking awesome.
It's one of the most intelligent movies I've ever fucking seen, but I haven't seen it since it came out in 2010. So I'm really excited to watch it again and see if it stands out. But the movie is called The Next 3 Days.
Oh, and I have not seen this movie.
Never, yeah, me neither.
I don't think I'm hoping none of you have seen this movie.
I haven't seen it.
This is a fucking gem.
Okay, I love it.
Yeah. Except that's not a Gerard Butler movie. That's a Russell Crowe movie.
I'm sorry, not Gerard Butler. You're right. You're right. You're right.
You got Gary so excited.
And the way I know that is
I'm totally sorry about
the next
that.
3 days.
They look alike, though. I think because,
I can see it. I can kind of see it.
Probably because I saw Gladiator on Netflix all over the fucking place.
You might as well have said, "Oh, it's a Vin Diesel movie." Like,
yeah, no, I'm sorry, it's not a Gerard Butler.
He was so excited.
I know how Matt felt about it.
I'm sorry, but trust me.
Now I know how Matt felt.
You're gonna fucking love it. You're gonna fucking love it.
I believe I will actually. I still think I will like this movie. It's very much up my alley, but no Jerry Butler.
Yeah, no, it's a fucking smart movie.
All right. I can't wait to see it.
And then should I just go with a plug?
Yeah, go for it.
Next Thursday night, November 9th, I am in Las Vegas with Adam at Kimmel's Comedy Club.
Adam,
so come out to Vegas. Tomorrow night, I'm in Santa Barbara. And I might be in San Pedro on November 10th. But that's going to depend on if Chris and Kaylin can get out of the house. So that's TBD.
Are you sure? Adam's going to Kimmel tomorrow.
He's doing the 2nd and the 9th.
Oh, he's going twice. All right. We'll go the 9th. Check out Dawson. Vegas, baby. Ow! All right, Matt, what do you got?
Well, I would love for people to check out our Patreon. If you're not already subscribed, patreon.com/watercooler. You get twice as much show plus the movie clubs. I just feel like if you've been listening to us for as long as we all know you've been listening, do the right thing. Throw us $5 a month. We love it. Also, I'm on Twitter at Matt Fondelier.
All right.
And yeah, love you guys. Thanks for all the support.
Garrett, what do you got?
Yeah, I'm going to double down on what Matt said. Check out our Patreon. There's a bunch of different tiers. But on top of the fact that you get an extra dose of this show every week, you get the other half of it, arguably. Now you also get this show ad-free, and it all comes in one feed, so it makes it super simple. Definitely stay subscribed to both feeds because, you know, that's doing the right thing. But check out our Patreon, and if you pick the tier that you like, you can also check out our 31 and counting movie nights, including the aforementioned 8 Mile, which was freaking awesome. And the forthcoming next 3 days, starring not Gerard Butler.
Not Gerard Butler.
All right. The whole movie, I'm just going to be wondering, man, Gerard Butler, what have he been like in this movie? Kaylin.
We should all come dressed as our favorite Gerard Butler character.
Ooh, okay.
At the not Gerard Butler Dubba Club.
Yeah.
That's right.
I think I got a favorite Gerard Butler movie pretty easy. And it's not 300. But we'll talk about that. Check out our Facebook page, super entertaining. Leave a comment, we may read it on the show, good chance. And to all of you out there who wanted one final good horror movie, even though the season's over, if you're still looking for that one, I'd like to recommend a movie that Matt recommended to me. I believe it's only on Shudder, but you may be able to find it somewhere else or even rent it. It's one of the more fucked up movies that I've seen in a long time. It's called When Evil Lurks. And it's surprisingly low audience score on Rotten Tomatoes, but I fucking loved it. I thought it was awesome. So there you go. If you need a little one more before the next season. Check that out.
I'm all set.
It'll stay with you.
It will.
All right, and as for me, I'll be playing at Marina Wine November 25th in Long Beach all night, and check out the new Blink album. I hear it's very good. It is very good. I can actually say it is very good. So go enjoy that and sign up for our Patreon.
If you've already listened to it, listen to it one more time.
Boom. All right. Well, anyway, thank you again for listening to this show. And we will see you later this week for a meetup and a Patreon episode. We can have some fun. All right. We love you. Goodbye. Woo-hoo.